Cause.
Yeah. That was tiny, no?
Yeah. Yeah, go live on that, go live on this. Let's see if we can flip the camera around.
Excuse me. Sorry.
You good, bro?
Yeah.
You need cough drop? I don't have any.
No, I get him. I get him.
Alright. Alright, let's flip this thing around. Who's that? You heard that?
Yeah, I did.
It's like somebody going, ho.
Oh, short, hello.
Ho! Oh, wow. Hey,
Sounds
how's
like
it going?
puppy.
Huh?
Sounds like puppy.
I don't know. Okay. I wanted to come back here tonight because there was some activity, yeah? Hey, Sean, how's it? So I didn't want to go to the Chinese cemetery simply because I love to go there, but I would have to have gotten permission. I don't want to just show up, yeah. It's a graveyard. It's where people are resting, yeah. And this place was a little unsettling last night, so we want to see how this place comes back. I don't know what's going on. All I'm seeing is people's like at names.
Yeah, it's changed.
Yeah.
Even mine.
Hey, Joy. Hey, Mrs. H. Yeah, no, I see you. And Sean is, yeah. I don't know what's going on. Oh, man. Hey, Mrs. H. Hey, everybody. Aloha. Troy, how's it? Martha. Yeah, last night was. Yeah, we're gonna set up. Come 8 o'clock, we're gonna go ahead and do a prayer. Kind of want to figure out what's going on over here. What?
Which one?
You like the you like the prayer? You like me say one prayer? Or are you laughing because I said I was going to say one prayer? I don't know. I don't even feel the kupuna over here.
It feels empty, yeah?
It does. I got Uy with me and I got Matt with me. I'm not going to be down here by myself. No way, Jose. It does. It feels really weird. I want to know what this weirdness is. I have a sneaking suspicion, but that's it. Did I shine a light on there? I think I will.
I would.
Yeah. can't even tell what tree it's coming from because it keeps moving.
It's jumping.
That's what's tripping me out is it keeps moving around. I assume I can walk up to the tree and maybe it's like rotten on the inside or something, and so it's making all this noise. But no, get something over here. I don't know what it is.
Had no enough wind like last night to move it.
Yep.
There's somebody was down here whistling last night.
Yeah, it really sounded like it, yeah.
It's like bird calls.
Yeah.
And then you go back on the live, right at the beginning.
Yeah.
The first one. Definitely sounded like a whistle. It sounded like the tree.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going, guys? Aloha. Get the headless horseman over here. Look at him. Literally the headless horseman.
Sleepy Hollow.
Yep.
Right around the corner.
I think I'm gonna tonight when I get home, I'm gonna post all the pictures onto my Patreon. I think I'll go do that. Patreon's free, so you guys can go ahead and join the Patreon and check them out. But I think I'm gonna write like maybe if the pictures are significant, what I thought about them.
Is that yours?
That's the REM pod again.
The REM pod.
No, let's see if I can turn off that feature.
Funny, 'cause I thought I heard something walk up on the left.
It's off now. Not gonna make any more noise with temperature changes. We're in a forest. It's gonna change more than 5 degrees when the wind blows, right?
I don't know. It seems like that was the only one that was setting them off last night.
Yeah.
Could be a sign.
I come here a lot, and so I want to know what's going on over here. Yeah. Oh, what's happening over here? I don't feel the presence of the usuals. Usually when we come here to tell stories, it's good fun. We have fun. You know what I mean? The spirits come, they enjoy the stories too, but it seems like they're gone right now. And I don't know what happened to them. And that's kind of disturbing for me. Hi, I love YouTube 808. I don't know. YouTube is doing something weird again, so. So we're gonna go ahead and start off tonight with a prayer. There was a bunch of stuff that was happening last night after the live that kind of led us to believe that this wasn't a very good thing over here. May not be evil, but not good. So in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and the snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, O Prince of the heavenly host, by the power of God, thrust into hell Satan and all evil spirits who wander the earth seeking the ruin of souls. Amen. So, yeah, at face value, we're telling ghost stories, but then on the side, we're investigating what's going to go on over here, yeah? Man, this thing is just, ooh. Okay, so, hey, you want to have some bug over here? Random picture generator, huh? I have a feeling, we were talking yesterday, that this could be a lapu or a lost soul. You guys want to add anything about last night? Who we met?
Yeah.
Not talking, not talking to you, Tree.
I got a lot to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Uh-huh. So you guys are gonna say something?
I was thought, nope.
Just gonna. I'm not sure about. Yeah, I'll just chalk it up to this. I'm still observing
Okay.
Yeah.
and investigating. Although I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I know already, but I don't know if it's
Ooh,
good to say. At least not on.
that's funny. This
Right
is like
there.
a night rainbow.
Hmm.
A night rainbow. Yeah, I'm back. Okay, so I'm back in Morgan's Corner because I didn't want to go to the um, Manoa Chinese Cemetery without permission. Yeah, it's a cool place, and I realized that if I'm gonna do this, I can go there with a group of people and do a tour. But if I'm doing it on social media, I kind of gotta follow what's Pono, right? So I cannot go over there with and other people think they can go over there and do the kind and stuff like that. It's like I've been there a lot. I know how to properly respect the area. I got family buried there, but that's why I didn't go there tonight. Plus, I don't want the kind incense. I left the incense at home, and that's the proper way to do it up there. So we decided to come up over here instead and do the stories here. So aloha to the kupuna, to the spirits of Judge Trail, to the spirits of the area here that's always here. I invite you to come and enjoy the stories and to stand with us and stand next to us and have fun and enjoy the companionship and all of that stuff. To the evil spirits, you cannot follow us home and you must keep your distance. Mahalo. Have you captured anything on camera before? Yeah, thank you. Yes, many things. I don't take pictures as much, but I've had many pictures shared with me. Yeah, exactly. You got to bring candy every night. We bring M&Ms before when we would do the ghost tour. Well, you like M&Ms too? You let me bring candy next time. This is a lapu, isn't it?
I think so.
Am I allowed to bring you candy? Oh yeah, we've captured that on the live. We captured chanting. That was cool. Yeah. Ooh, man. All right. So yeah, I just kind of felt that the spirit hasn't crossed over and it wasn't very good. Now you gotta. It said last night that it was a lapu, right? Princess, that's funny. I mean, it probably wasn't when it happened. You parked on the street and somebody knocked on your back window. Oh, Kalapana? Yeah. Ooh. You heard babies crying? Oh, wow. Yeah. Aussie, how's it? I'm just small kind discombobulated, but should be fine once we get them going. You like your stories too? And we went down tonight to where the creaking was coming from, and I'm surprised that it's still happening tonight. Yeah.
You notice not as much, just one tone.
Was that
You notice it's not as much as one tone
one
tonight.
one tone?
The creaking.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. What was what light? I have my REM pod out there, and I have the other one, the tripwire. That's it. I don't have any other light. Um. So what's kind of cool is this last picture over here. I encountered this one night when I did the ghost tour. Actually, 2 nights. Yeah. Oh yeah, the shadow at Mackenzie's. Thank you. I encountered a night rainbow at Manoa Chinese Cemetery years ago. It was perfect. We were up there. We were up over there, and it started raining in the far part of Manoa as the moon was rising over Va'ahila Ridge, and it was just such a perfect, a perfect chain of events to create a nighttime rainbow. It was funny because everyone tried to take pictures of it, but they couldn't. It's kind of funny that the night rainbow came up over here on that night on the randomly generated picture. That's cool. Is this the whistle tone that's still happening tonight?
Not tonight yet.
No.
No.
More the
Yeah.
creaking.
Yeah, more creaking and laughing and that kind of stuff. Man, if I could bring you guys to walk to Manoa Chinese Cemetery, man, it would be. It's awesome. You gotta be there in person. It's such a fantastic place. I mean, there's so many ghosts, and yeah, I don't do the Yes, we need to go Wahila Ridge. That'll be fun. We don't. I don't do the ghost tours anymore, but yeah, I wouldn't mind doing them, but I just cannot do them for work. You know, for business. I gotta do it for pleasure, and it's a lot of work to plan. But like after we would leave this location, actually, Judd Trail, Morgan's Corner, we leave here, we tell ghost stories here, and then the next stop would be Manoa Chinese Cemetery, and this place is always so good. The energy in this old Chinese cemetery was just fantastic, and it always has been. You know, the way it's built is a guy, man, I will tell the story, like I forget his name, Lum Ching. Lum Ching was the grand ancestor who was buried up over there, and he was a master of art known as Kunyi Suk. Kunyi Suk is about it's like a mixture between feng shui and geomancy. So it kind of takes the ley lines, the energy lines of the earth, and all of that kind of stuff, and at the same time, it takes the what's around the mountains and all of that, that stuff too. Um, so yeah, he came over and he walked into Manoa Valley, and what he saw in Manoa Valley was a big ridge coming up right in the middle. And so he walked up that ridge, right up in the middle, and he stood there. He laid out his equipment and he looked around, and he saw an old Chinese legend that's thousands of years old. He saw the center of, possibly the center of the earth, is what people have called it. That noise is a tree. The reason we're down here tonight. Um, the legend is that the center of the very, very center, right? It has the four directions, north, south, east, and west, and they're all represented by a color and an animal. But while he was standing on the rise, he looked south and he saw the rising phoenix. He looked north and he saw the black tortoise entwined by the serpent. He looked to the west and he saw the white tiger. In the east, he saw the powerful dragon. In the mountain ridges, in the sky, all of that stuff. And when you go over there too, you can see it. If the moon is just right and you look to the west towards Tantalus, it looks like a tiger is crouched down to the ground. You can see his stripes, you can see his back leg, and he's facing the ocean ready to pounce. If you turn around to the other side of Ahila Ridge, St. Louis Heights, it looks like a dragon with its ridges and the ridges going up. You know, like the dragon's, what's it called? On the tail, they have the ridges.
Yeah.
Spikes, scales, yeah. It looks like that. To the north, the mountain, the back of the well, it's to the south first. The south is, it opens up, right? You have the two ridges that come down at a slope, at like a 45-degree angle, and they surround the valley, making it almost like a bowl. And looking at it like that from that angle, it looks like the air, instead of the mountains, is forming a giant bird with its wings spread out wide, and that's Phoenix rising up into the sky. And if you look at the graves, most of the graves are either faced west back to China, or they're facing south towards the rising Phoenix and hope that they will be reborn again. The north is the opposite of rebirth. The north is represented by a black tortoise entwined by the serpent. And that part is the last stop on the tour where we would usually go, Paradise Park, Manoa Falls Hiking Trail. It's much, much darker. A lot of scary things over there. Sorry, I gotta open up my drink over here. Oh, wow. This is kind of cool. Got a picture of the cemetery. Ooh, I get bugs crawling up my leg. Yep, black tortoise is good luck in feng shui. Exactly. Entwined by the serpent, I'm not sure what it meant. I did manage to research it and look it up, and it's represented by black, and it's represented by winter. Like the winter, the cold, that kind of thing. It's the opposite of the phoenix, which is rebirth, so it's a little bit of a darker. I did a lot of research into that because we had a lot of things happen on the tour over at Paradise Park. Um, and it represented a figure in old Chinese mythology that goes all the way back to the shamanistic era. I think they said circa 10,000, 8,000 years ago. And it was this one guy, I forget his name, but he was a historical figure and like supernatural and all of that. But he was more of a demon hunter, right? Phoebe, the strange noises. That's why we're here tonight. Hey, Mahalo, Mahalo Island for the gift. Yeah, almost everything is yin and yang. Yep. This character, this figure that's represented by the black tortoise entwined by the serpent, is the manifestation of justice and righteousness. But at the same time, he's almost like considered to be almost like a demon hunter. And so when people would go back to Paradise Park, like psychics and stuff, they would feel this entity, this presence of something that's older than people, older than humankind, something that's not good and not bad, but leans more towards the dark. These are the things that they had said. Glenn Grant collected that. I had also had people on the tour tell me that as well. It's a very interesting place. So the valley perfectly describes this legend. Even so, it's called the ridge he was standing on. He said we need to buy this land and we need to build something here. We can't have a house stand here or a neighborhood. This has to be a place that's accessible to everybody to enjoy the feng shui, the mana, the good energy that comes up from the valley. It's called the Dragon's Pulse. Look, you can Google the Dragon's Pulse. That's the legend. The Dragon's Pulse is the fifth direction. You got north, south, east, and west, and then you got the middle. Surrounding the entire Dragon's Pulse is Manoa Valley, and it looks like a dragon sleeping around. The whole ridge is like a circle almost. It looks like a dragon sleeping, just coiled up around the valley. And so that's why they built Manoa Chinese Cemetery there. It was a lot more than just, oh, this place pretty, we go buy them. No, there was so much more to it. When he built the gates, if you go to Manoa Chinese Cemetery, there's a gate down at the bottom, and there's a gate up at the top at the Grand Ancestors' grave. Right behind there, there's a Chinese banyan tree. I'll get into that in a minute. There we go, another face. Hello there. Handsome guy over here. Or girl, I don't know. Or they, them, I'm not sure. But it's built in a way, I believe, to channel the energy, channel the feng shui kind of thing. It channels the energy from the ocean and it goes straight up the valley through the gates, and it goes up through the Grand Ancestor's tomb, through his stuff, and it goes right to the tree, the big Chinese banyan tree, where the boneyard used to be, where they would prepare the bodies and they would pretty much cremate the flesh, and they would get the bones, and then they would wrap the bones up. And I got to talk to a gentleman that actually has been doing that since he was a kid. He learned how to do that from his family. He's a caretaker over there. A very interesting guy. Yeah. Good. So Manoa Chinese Cemetery is special. The energy is fantastic. I know people that can sleep over there without a problem. During April to May, you got Kunyi Suk, not Kunyi Suk. Yeah, Kunyi Suk. Is that what it's called? I'm trying to concentrate, and we get stuff going on around here. What is that Chinese obon called? Ming, Qing
I
Ming,
have no idea.
Qing Ming. There you go. Oh, how's it?
Sure, the man's voice back there.
Okay, well, we'll do this first. How's it? Anybody back there want to talk? Can you set off one of the lights? You can play with the lights if you want. I'll tell you, if you want us to leave, turn all the lights yellow. Or most of the lights. Turn them yellow or red. Make them go off. We'll be paying attention and we'll ask more questions. If you want us to leave, that's how you can communicate with us. Yeah? If you want us to stay, can you turn the lights blue? Okay. Keith, how's it? How's it? Hey, everybody. Aloha. It's funny how many in Hawaii has been taught that Kunki Fat Choi means Happy New Year. Why does it feel like I cannot go on these Hawaiian hunting tours? You don't need to come over here. I don't really do the tours. This is how I do my tours now, yeah. So, yeah, no worry. Thank you for the pumpkin. Mahalo. Oh man. Um, did we get another picture? Nope. So, it's a place where it's known to have children, right? And the children like to wander around and play in the cemetery, which a lot of people think is creepy, right? In fact, Glenn Grant writes about it. A lot of he would collect stories about it, right? I think one of my favorite stories of Glenn Grant's comes from that graveyard over there. And it might be, I always see it as that graveyard. It might be that graveyard. I haven't read this book in a long time, but yeah, that's the. Ooh. Okay. So let me tell you guys the ghost story, yeah? Um, Glenn Grant loved to go ghost hunting as well, too, yeah? And so he would go out to haunted places, car, to see what was happening and to see if they could witness anything and be a part of another ghost story kind of thing. And so one night he was up there with a bunch of students at Manoa Chinese Cemetery, parked right under the banyan tree, right? And well, they're parked right by the banyan tree. And as they're looking over the graveyard for hours and hours and hours, all of a sudden they see in the distance in the cemetery, right? They see this white mist appear in the moonlight, and they watch this white mist walk, walk several feet, you know, across the graveyard, and then it disappears. They wait a few seconds. The white mist reappears, and now they notice that it appeared at the same place, which happened to be in front of a headstone. And it continued to walk towards another headstone, where it quickly disappeared. And they're sitting down watching this, like, what is the significance of these two headstones? And a few seconds later, this mist appears at the first headstone, and it walks from left to the right and disappears at the other headstone. And they watch this for 5 minutes, 6 minutes, and they're wondering maybe it's like a mother and a daughter or a family member, and the spirit is visiting the other headstone, but it just keeps like going on repeat. And so one of the guys is all brave, and he go the he goes down to check it out as the moon is covered, so he cannot see nothing, right? They go down, the mist is gone because they don't have the light to shine up upon it. But he walks down over there, he gets to the headstone, and he's reading the headstone, and all of a sudden he screams and just comes running back to everybody in the graveyard. As he comes running back to everybody in the graveyard, he's soaking wet. And they're like, "What? What happened? What happened? What happened?" And as he started laughing, they're like, "What happened? What did that headstone say? What was going on? Did the ghost touch you?" And all of that. And he's like laughing. He's like, "Well, no, but the sprinkler did." That wasn't a ghost. It was a sprinkler. Sorry, it's hard to tell ghost stories here. I'm hearing noises on the right now. What's going on, guys? Speak up. You can interrupt my stories if something's going on, please.
No, I thought I heard voices, like sounded like a lady's voice.
You're hearing one lady, and that's
Yeah.
hearing one guy.
Mm.
Your lady is coming from the right.
Yeah.
Matt's coming from straight ahead.
Yeah, it's from back there.
Okay. Yeah, it was the moonlight picking up the water sprinklers. Um, let's see, one of my favorite stories from Glenn Grant that he had collected was one of the neighbors that lived over there. Well, I mean, okay, there was a bunch of stories from the neighbors. There was one where the caretaker, the back of the house opened up to the children's section, right? And the caretaker one of the caretakers had just moved in and was kind of new to it, and they'd always hear laughing and crying and giggling and all of that stuff throughout the night, and they thought it was cats, and they're like, we can't sleep, all these cats are too loud. And they talked to the former caretaker, and the former caretaker laughed. He's like, "That's not cats, that's the ghosts of the children." He's like, "Well, I don't believe in ghosts, it's not ghosts." And they're like, "Well, whatever, that's fine then. If you don't believe them, then they won't bother you." But he kept getting bothered by these sounds again and again and again and again. Finally went back and he's like, "What do I do?" He's like, "Well, you gotta leave candy. You gotta go over there and you gotta leave candy for the kids. That's what they love. And so you gotta take care of them, yeah." So he decided, why not? Left candy over there on the graves, and the noises stopped. To me, as I said before, ghost children can really kind of freak you out. But over here, they're playing, they're happy. It's different. If the kids don't feel threatened, and if the kids are happy, then the place should be happy too. Yeah, whenever we would go up over there, we would leave candy on the front as we enter on the right, on a little rock, and we'd leave a couple coins inside the shisa, the dog, one of the guardians, the one carved with the ball in the mouth. Um, this, you know what? I think this is just a tree making noise. Are you guys okay with me doing this?
What? Go where?
Okay.
I'm not sure what you're doing.
Yeah.
No,
Are
thank
you
you.
gonna
Thank you, Sherry.
provoke it? Is that what you're asking?
I think it's just, I don't think there's anything to provoke. I think it's just a tree making noise. It doesn't respond to the lights. It doesn't respond to anything. So there's nothing there. It's just a nature noise. Yeah? It's nothing at all. Did it start raining?
That's what I feel.
Yeah.
I think you drop.
Huh?
It's awful.
Yeah, I felt the drop on my back. I'm like, that was kind of timing. I was like, great. Okay, well, we'll continue the stories then. I'm gonna be more relaxed because there's no ghosts over here. Yeah? Hey, the official Liliana. How's it? It's a lot of letters in your name. Mahalo. Oh man. Oof. You guys that are watching the videos, what do you think of this? What do you think of this location over here? Okay, Phoebe says there's an old man sitting on the right. I'm sweating, but my body is cold. Is that rain or wind?
Feels like a little bit. Feels like rain.
Yep. Oh, wait.
Brought my umbrella today. Yep, that's rain. 3, 2, 1.
Can you grab the equipment?
Oh yeah. Shoot. You got him? Hey, so you can just bring the REM pod. You can leave the lights out there. Thank you. Wait, what's going on here? There we go. Yeah, now it's raining. Did we turn off the lights for a minute? I will when it stops raining. We have one light over there lighting up the background. Hey, how's it? Let's see how the rain is gonna affect the noises, if there's any noises. There. Man, I got all the stories. They're all lined up one after another, and I this is one of the nights where I know all the stories, and I'm like not over here trying to make trying to jog my memory, but I'm just not able to tell them. I'm not even tired right now. I don't know what's going on. Um, like one of Glenn Grad's stories that he had collected was from a couple, like a family that lived by the cemetery, right? Or no, it was about the cemetery. No, yeah. That's right, it was. There was a man who would walk his dog every night around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. And of course, one of the places he'd walk his dog was in front of Manoa Chinese Cemetery, just in the front on the bottom, right? So he takes his dog for a walk like he does every night. And he hears the sound coming from the graveyard inside the cemetery near the children's section. He hears the sound of crying, like this little muffled crying and sobbing and so he goes into the graveyard. He has his flashlight and he's looking around. Under a tree, he sees a little girl just kind of curled up under the tree crying, and he's like, what the hell are you doing here? He looks at her. He's like, honey, what are you doing here? She looks up at him and she's like, oh, hi, mister. I'm lost. I don't know where I am. And he's like, well, how did you get here? He's like, oh, I was at my family's house down the street, and we were playing hide and go seek, but nobody found me. It's been a long time, and nobody found me. And so he's like, okay, well, let's go ahead and get you dried up and all of that. He's like, what's your parents' number? And so she gives him the parents' number, and he's like, okay, here, this is my dad's name. Go ahead, this is the number. He calls the number. They go home, dry her up, and gives her the number. He calls the phone. Nobody answers. But now it's about 10 o'clock at night. He calls the phone again. No one answers. He keeps calling. Nobody's answering the phone. And he looks at the girl and he's like, well, thinking maybe the guy is not home because he's searching for his daughter, right? And so he's like, okay, well, I need to, he's like, do you know what your address is? Maybe I'll just take you home. There should be somebody over there waiting up for you to come home, right? He thought. But she gives him the address. She lives down the road in Kalihi, a couple valleys over. And so they jump into the car. He buckles her into the back seat. We're still wrapped in the towel, right? Buckles her up into the back seat and gets the address and drives over to where she lives. And now it's a little bit later at night. So it's maybe 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And he goes on, he looks at the address. He gets to the house, knocks on the door. I turned you off. Hold on.
Something's here.
Huh?
Something's here.
Hold on.
My body's there, huh? Like mad.
Oh, mad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not paying it any attention then. That's why. So they get to the house and he's knocking on the door again and again and again and again. And finally, after a few minutes, there's a light in the back of the house that flips on. And he hears footsteps coming to the door. And the footsteps come to the door opens up a little bit, and he sees this old Chinese man standing at the door with the door just slightly ajar. And he's like, what the hell do you want? Why are you knocking on my door at this hour of the night? We're sleeping over here. What's wrong with you? And now the guy who drove there with the girl is getting mad. And he's like, what the hell kind of parents lose their daughter and they lose their daughter or their granddaughter and they sleep peacefully? What the heck is wrong? And he's like, what? You missing something, huh? You think you missing something? What you missing? And the guy's like, what are you talking about what I'm missing? It's like, you dummy. I found your daughter. I get her in the backseat of my car. All of a sudden behind the guy there's a gasp. His wife just lets out this gasp and he's like, the old Chinese man looks at him, gives him stink eye. He's like, what? You think this is some kind of joke? He's like, what the hell are you talking about? I got your daughter. This is her name. This is what she looks like. She's in the backseat of my car right now. You left her in the graveyard. And the guy's like, what graveyard? What are you talking about? He's like, the graveyard, the Chinese one in Manoa. I found her over there under a tree. What the hell? Did you not even miss her? And he looks at him. He's like, some kind of sick joke, huh? He's like, yeah, my daughter's in the graveyard, but she's buried in the graveyard because she died 30 years ago. The guy all of a sudden is like, whoa, wait, what? The Chinese guy just kind of looks at him like, you sicko. You know, he's like, no, she's in my car. Come and look. And so they walk to his car, and of course there's nobody there in the back seat. But the seatbelt is still buckled. And the guy's like, she was right here. She was wrapped in the towel, and now the old lady, the wife, the old Chinese man's wife is just sobbing openly now. And the Chinese guy is comforting her, and they decide that that night it's time to go pay a visit to the daughter in the cemetery. You know, the one that was supposed to bring them grandchildren at this age and fill their house and all of that stuff. But none of that happened because she had died. They go over to the graveyard, they light incense and leave offerings, and the guy follows them over there but feels a little bit like he doesn't belong. So he walks back, and as he's walking around, he walks back, he goes by the tree where he initially found the girl. And under the tree, he finds his towel folded up nicely, waiting for him. So that's one of my favorite stories over there. Bro, what is this weather? What's going on, Louis?
Yeah, plenty of walking around here.
You get plenty walking.
Yeah.
I feel we get plenty around here. That's good. To me, that feels like they're back.
I mean, yeah, that mad went away. Now it's just walking around here.
The mad went away, yeah. I think, I don't know, maybe it got mad. But look, whenever happened for a long time, huh? The tree.
Yeah.
Nothing, huh? Tonight is different. Yeah, tonight is different for sure. But yeah, you notice how the creaking of the tree that was happening all night last night, and since we got here, had stopped. No more. The thing would leave already. It was gone.
Yeah, it got really windy at one point.
Yeah.
The wind came through and that was it.
Yeah.
I never even creaked when it had the wind.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's cool. That's cool. Up at the top of the cemetery, there's a tree, a banyan tree, the old Chinese banyan tree. It's said to be a portal between this life and the next. One of the legends goes that this is as I said, a portal, but fireballs or akualele or hinotama, whatever they call it, they get different names in different cultures. But fireballs come out of that tree and fly around the valley and then land back in that tree, to the point where if you were to stand inside that tree, and this was decades ago, you could still see burn marks. And according to the fire station, there's never been a record of a fire in there, but there are black scorch marks on the inside of the tree. Something I found really interesting too is, you know how banyan trees grow, right? Banyan trees are the walking trees. The branch will grow out, and then the roots will grow from the branch down into the ground, and then that becomes the next trunk, and it continues to go and go and go, and it just kind of grows everywhere, right? This banyan tree, though, if you look in the middle, nothing will grow over it. That's very unlike a banyan tree. There's this big empty spot inside of it that you can stand in. And when I would do the tours there, we would invite people to stand there. We would notice things would happen, like if you had a key fob, sometimes the key fob would stop working, was what we have heard. They've called to tell us the next day, and when they went home, the key fob didn't work. You know, they assume it's from the tree, but it would always be somebody that would go in the tree, right? It has a lot of energy in there. We were there one night specifically. I remember, and it was like wintertime, so the wind that was blowing down from the mountains was probably about 65 to 70 degrees. It was a chill. Had a little bit of a chill to it. But as soon as you stepped inside the tree, it was like 75, 80 degrees. It was warm. You could even feel the wind blowing through. And the wind blowing through was warm. I put my hand right outside the tree, and my hand was cold. The wind on my hand was cold, but the wind on my body was warm. That's the effect that it would have with a lot of energy, yeah? But once again, if you want us to go, change the lights. Make them all one color that's not purple. Mahalo. So, there's also supposed to be other kids that haunt the cemetery and all of that, right? The night was August 8th of 2008. And if you know Chinese, 8 is a good luck number. So it was 8808. We went up there, and it felt like the whole place was throwing a big party. It was so awesome. It was so amazing. Hey, we are on Oahu over here. And so I remember specifically, I'm standing up at the grand ancestor's grave, and I'm looking down. You know, they're just kind of walking around taking pictures, and I'm just looking down the cemetery, looking down towards the children's section, and just kind of smiling because it felt good. And a lady comes up to me and she's like, "You see them, don't you? The children." I'm like, "Oh, I don't see the kids." But when she said that, I had imagined in my head looking down there, and I saw the kids playing with this big, oversized beach ball. And they kept getting mad or frustrated because the wind would blow the ball away. But they kept trying to throw it and catch it, and they're having fun and playing with it. And I'm like, "Oh no, it's a nice area." And then the lady looks at me, she's like, "You see them playing with the beach ball, don't you?" And I'm like, "What? How do you know that?" She's like, "Because they are. And they're getting frustrated because the wind keeps blowing it away." And I'm like, "Oh my God. I could see the same thing as her." Or maybe she could read my mind. Who knows? It was awesome. There was a night that was kind of funny. Yeah, we had a young boy, maybe 8 or 9 years old. He we went up there. We went up to the statue of the Bodhisattva. When you go all the way up to the top and you do the little turnaround, that's a Bodhisattva. A Bodhisattva is someone who has achieved enlightenment, but instead of achieving nirvana, and instead of being blown out like a candle, they choose to be reborn into the world, into the pain of cycle and the cycle of pain and suffering, until every soul in heaven and hell are at rest. So the Bodhisattva are selfless. That's the statue there. Anyway, I kind of gone off on the sidetrack. They went over there and we drove around. Saw a few trucks over there. Some people were drinking, partying, whatever. You know, people do that. I guess they never liked the fact that two big tour buses came over with a whole bunch of people taking pictures. Huh? So we got out the grand ancestor's grave, a little bit down from where they were, and they all took off. They all left. No biggie. Then when they all left, apparently they left one of their friends. Because there was this big local brother that came down to us, and the guy was scared. The guy was freaked out. He came down, and he went right up to me, and he's like, "Bro, you guys need to leave, bro. I think you guys should go." I'm like, "Hey, what's going on? You good?" He's like, "No, bro. I saw one ghost." I'm like, "So why did you come here?" "Oh, I came here to see one ghost." I'm like, "But now you're scared that you saw one." He's like, "Brah, was one real ghost?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's what happens in a graveyard." I looked at him and I'm like, "Did you see the little girl?" Oh, his eyes went wide. Like, "The little girl by the banyan tree." He's like, "How you know I wouldn't see the little girl at the banyan tree?" I'm like, "The one with the pigtails." He's like, "Oh, cuz, how you know she had pigtails? Brah." I'm like, "Brah, that's a story. People see her sometimes in the tree." "Brah, how you know I would see that?" I'm like, "Dude, it's fine." You know what I mean? He's like, "No, for real. I saw that girl, the little girl." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know." Then that little boy that was on the tour had come up because he wanted to see what was going on. He came up and he looked at the guy and he's like, the guy is almost in tears. This little boy looks at him. He's like, "I'm sorry, sir. Why are you scared? It's just a little girl." And the guy's like, "No, it was a ghost." He's like, "Nah, this place isn't scary. If you want to be scared, you go to the place called Morgan's Corner we just left from, or to the Pully Lookout. That place is scary, but this place feels really good." And the guy just walked away from that, like, kind of stunned a little bit that he got, like, scolded and owned by a little boy. Huh? Yeah.
She's a nice little girl, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
She
yeah.
was there the time we went up there.
Yeah. She likes to play. She likes to say hi. When people would go inside the tree. Oh. Somebody brave. You coming back now. Sorry.
Is that knocking?
Huh?
Is that knocking?
Just knocking, bruh.
I thought it
I'll go tell this story, then I'll go walk inside. Let's see what's going on. I want to see what tree it's coming from specifically. So people would go inside the tree, and sometimes they would have encounters, and I gotta practice my psychic gift in that way. I, I could practice seeing. I would tell them the impressions I got, and like there'd be a person in the tree, and I'd say like, okay, now concentrate. I see an old man behind you, and he has this black hat on, and the hat looks like this. And I'm like, I need you to focus on all five of your senses: your feel, your smell, everything. Focus on that. I'm like, he, I could see him like this guy trying to hold the person's hand because they're standing there in front of the whole group. We have the light on him, and so I'm like, where do you feel heat? Right? And then they feel heat on the hand, or sometimes around their shoulder, or sometimes around like a hug kind of thing, right? It's never scary. It's always just amazing to witness. It's always just like they would smell their cologne, they would feel the presence, they'd break down in tears and cry sometimes. You know what I mean? It's a real personal moment. It's a real beautiful place. That's kind of how this Manoa Chinese Cemetery is. Even though it has plenty ghosts, it's still amazing. There was a night I remember very clearly. There was a husband and wife and their little boy who came on the tour. Little boy was maybe, it was kind of young for a ghost tour, but he was fine. He wasn't scared of anywhere we went. You know, once again, maybe 7, 8 years old. I don't know what this thing is. The thing is off. I like how this thing sounds creepy, huh? Yeah. Sensitivity on low. And so he's over there and he stands in the tree. And he's like, I feel wind going around me and going around me. And I'm like, yeah, I see it. There's something running around you. I'm like, I think I knew what it was. I had a picture in my head. And then he starts kind of like getting really sad. And I'm like, did you have a dog that passed away? He's like, I have a dog. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I feel there's a dog running around. And the boy was kind of sad, but then he was like happy because he could feel his dog running around him, right? He could feel him. He could like, I think he could smell him and all of that. And he was kind of happy. And the father came up to me and he's like, that's impossible. He never had a dog that died. He's like, but we have a dog at home. I'm like, oh, okay. And they're visiting from the mainland, right? I'm like, huh, maybe it's one of your dogs or something, right? And then he goes ahead and he kind of steps out of the group for a couple minutes and goes on his cell phone. He calls a lady that's taking care of their house, and he asks her how the dog is, and she had to break the news that their dog had died just the other day, and they didn't want to ruin their vacation in Hawaii, so nobody told them. And that was a really sad moment, but it was also beautiful because a dog came by to play with the boy and tell him goodbye, right? We got another picture. We had a few more, but they weren't really relevant, so I didn't share them. Yeah, that was one of those oh my god kind of moments. Like what the heck? It's just wow, just one thing. It sucks that his dog died, but it's magical to experience that kind of love and just feel that. You know what I mean? I will guarantee you those three guys will never forget that, and I won't either. It was a cool experience to have. Of course, the repercussions probably not so much, but still. I'm gonna go walk over to the tree and see if there's anything there. Maybe it got mad that I said it's not real, so it stopped.
Dude, I can blow my nose without.
How's
without
it?
blowing
How's
up
it?
the-
Huh?
Dude, now I can blow my nose without blowing up the feet while you walk away. Like you're honking it out over you.
I had a light. Where'd my light go?
Yeah, when you care,
Oh, they put on.
Yeah.
Unfun it. Okay. Remember this again. Hey, cat. Aloha. Welcome. Oh, bruh. You said it fell down.
Yeah,
What's
behind
that?
you, on the ground.
Oh, behind me.
Oh, shit.
No. My,
It's not
my,
The
head,
light, right?
my headlight.
It's on your neck, girl.
It's on, I know. I felt that. It's on my neck. I was
I
like,
thought you
bruh.
were talking about that
Yeah,
light.
the
I'm sorry.
flashlight.
No, I'm looking for my headlight. I'm like, the headlight's around my neck. Yeah, I'm not used to having one headlight yet, bro. Your headlight, get this huge battery pack too.
Um,
Okay,
so
okay.
for, yeah, for
So you can't get
double
one
A's.
without that, huh?
Uh,
So they gotta come with that big ugly battery
oh,
pack.
well, I guess it's got to match the fucking.
Yeah.
The green power, yeah, kind of like the whatever LED.
Yeah. Oh, look at this picture.
Because it's got different settings, yeah. So maybe because of that.
No, lights.
Futuristic. You know? I'll leave this over here. Let's go see what's going on over here.
This side, Joe. Right there.
This one here.
Yep.
Ooh.
Hey, hang up. See that right there, Joe, where it's curved? I saw him up there.
So I'm up there. One now.
Yeah, no more face. The face is right on the curve.
Ugh. Sorry, guys.
Not a good night to be out for you, bro.
Oh,
Are you
good.
getting sick?
I don't know, like you guys are sick.
All raining and stuff?
Bulletproof.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Oh, look at this. Cross. That's the all clear. So we had, as I said, that place is always good, but there was one time when it wasn't good. Actually, there were two times that it was kind of weird. One that it really wasn't good. Oh my God, I didn't even see that. It's a guy. I didn't even see the eyes. Bruh, I thought it was like, I don't know what I was looking at, but this eyes on top of the head. What the hell?
Like on tattoo.
Yeah. Like, is anybody here? No, nothing's even here. Huh? Funny how last night we smelled the rotting flesh, but no more nothing now. The whole night. Yeah, Troy. That's funny. Then I just read your comment, Troy. Yeah, no. Do nothing. I'm good at that. Um, One of the first nights I went up to Manoa Chinese Cemetery, we get up to the top. This place is really cool. Okay, so tea leaf, the tea leaf plant, the TI, it's a very sacred kind of plant in Hawaii. I get them at my house, the big green leaves, the big waxy green leaves. Um, my theory about them is, like I was taught, you plant them around your house if your house is haunted. You plant them at the corners. You plant them almost like as a wall, and it will keep the bad spirits out, or it will keep the spirits in. It
SOS?
It will keep the spirits in, kind of thing. That you?
Nope. That's your thing.
It's not even going off. Was it doing an SOS?
So solid. That's what I.
Do them again. Yeah. Anyway, so the tea leaves are good, right? That's kind of what they're used for. How I kind of understand them is I use them with my kids, like my mom would use them for me. When you get one fever, you stick them in cold water and you put them on top of the head, yeah, and it breaks the fever. Because the trait it has is it drains the heat out of your head and puts it in relief, and you just keep doing it, and you keep doing it, and you keep doing it, and it drains all the heat out, the extra heat out of your body. And so you take that into a spiritual sense, and you look at the science about how spirits can manifest as they can take energy. I think I might do a night on that. Scientific theory and equipment and all of that stuff could be interesting. But spirits take energy, even in the form of heat, right? So should you have tea leaves around you, it will not be able to manifest, right? Yes, head, back of the neck. I put them on my kid's stomach, his chest, arm, everything. Um, yeah, they don't like it, but you know what? The fever breaks, so. So what if it'll stop the spirit from manifesting, from drawing energy to the point where it can do things on our side, where it has energy, because you cannot create energy from nothing, and it requires a source. And so you go to Manoa Chinese Cemetery, and they have tea leaf plants planted on every grave throughout the cemetery, except it's the red variant. I don't think the red variant really works. Personally, it's not waxy like the green. It doesn't absorb the heat like the green. But Chinese red is very good luck, yeah. So that's the reason why. So one of the first nights I went there, we were at the Grand Ancestry's grave. We saw this truck drive up. The truck stops just right above us, across the little road. Walks to a grave, rips out a tea leaf plant off of the grave, throws it in his truck, and drives away. And I'm like, what? you know, we're just standing there looking over there like, what the heck just went on? I wish I knew how to use my own equipment. We went back over there, but we took pictures, and there was a big red orb right in that area, right? There was a big red orb in the graveyard, so we actually walked over there to the graveyard to see. And right where that red orb was a grave that he had pulled the tea leaves out of and walked away. And we're just kind of like, what the heck was this guy even thinking? What was he doing, right? And we just went over there, we lit incense for him, and we apologized, and then the area got a little bit better. But it was just like, what the heck?
It's not. Aren't you gonna take your tea leaves from somebody?
Why are you going
Right.
to take tea leaves from a graveyard at nighttime in front of 20-something people? You know what I mean? Temperature
Imagine
zero.
an emergency you probably have.
Yeah. Oh, I imagine the ghost
What
story
did
from that guy, huh?
He must have a good story.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I think it was necessary right then and there, and I needed them, but
What was that? Yeah. Um, there was another night. I gotta find my umbrella. Putting everything everywhere. Here comes the rain. Sorry. Oops. Oh, good Lord. There you go. We went up to the graveyard, and I started the stories. Uncle Joe was with me, and I did the stories over there, right, that night. Um, there was a father-daughter duo standing, listening to the stories and all of that. Like the lady, the daughter must have been like maybe in her mid to late 20s, and all of a sudden, like we're standing there and telling the stories, and they kind of kept to themselves all night. Like, whatever, you know what I mean? That's fine. And all of a sudden, we heard a metallic noise, like metal clicking on metal. That sorry, that high pitched sound is my REM pod. So we heard like metal clicking or metal scraping on metal, and it came from the tree, the banyan tree, the portal. It came from there, And like I had never heard a sound like that before. I had heard it a few times since, and it always means that there's something bad about to happen. It's some kind of quick manifestation. Out of that portal came this gust of wind. It did a U-turn. We heard this loud gust of hot wind. It went right through the group and went right to the girl and her father. The girl grabs the father, starts screaming, and the father looks at his daughter and says, "Oh my God, honey, is it the thing we've been running away from?" And I'm looking at them like, "What did you just say?" What? Uncle Joe, no shame, no hesitation, grabs them by their arm, throws them in the car, throws tea leaves at them, shuts the door, and speeds off out of the cemetery. Just them. He don't say nothing to me. He just jumps in the van, throws them in the van, and drives away. And as he's driving away, I see him swerve and almost hit like a tree and a headstone. And then he rights himself and keeps driving down the valley. And I'm like, I really hope he's coming back, you know. He comes back about 15 minutes later, or 20 minutes later, told me he dropped them off at the gas station. And he talked to them to make sure everything was okay. And I'm like, so what the hell happened? What did she mean by that? What's going on? And he's like, well, you see, what they told me was that they had problems with something that had followed them before. Not just followed them, but the girl had broken up with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend was a guy in Puerto Rico, and he had sent a Puerto Rican god against her to curse her. And it took them years and years and years to finally lose it. And they finally had lost it, and they were living life peacefully again, and then it came up through that portal and found her again. He said when he was driving out of the graveyard, something where they were behind him, something came out and reached around his neck and started choking him. You know, and that's why he almost swerved, and so he had to throw salt and yell and all of that and stuff, got rid of it. But yeah, they didn't continue the tour that night. They actually waited at the gas station as we decided to go over to leaving the site. We went to Paradise Park. We were told once it represents the blood of your ancestors. Don't know if it's true. The red ones, you mean? Ah, okay. I heard the red one could be invoking Madame Pele. I've just never really felt a connection to the red one like I do to the green one. The green one, yeah. They have so many different variants now, but I like the tea leaves. They're good. I don't like to use them too much because if I need them, I have them, but I don't want to depend on them too much. Yeah. I've always used, when I do a house blessing, I always use one for a sign of protection, one for a sign of respect. I think towards the ending of the month, I might have to bring a few out, just because I don't want the same thing happening again. That happened the other year. You talk about them, they come, yeah, so. Um, any other stories of Manoa Chinese Cemetery? Let me stop and think. Well, we went up there a lot, like every night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday for like 4 years, you know. Whenever we'd have a tour, we'd go up over there, we'd light incense, we'd tell the stories, right? So we had witnessed a lot of cool stuff. Oh, there was not really paranormal, but it was kind of funny. Um, prior, about 2 years prior to this, the place we would go after the graveyard is Paradise Park, Manoa Falls. That place is scary. One night we're standing over there on the trailhead, and we hear a didgeridoo, okay, echoing off the valley at midnight. And I'm like, brah, what the hell? I'm looking at Uncle Joe, and Uncle Joe's like, brah, what is that? I'm like, brah, that's one didgeridoo, yeah? He's like, that's a didgeridoo. What, we get Australian ghosts over here now too? What the hell's going on over here? A few nights we heard the didgeridoo just echoing, that's a wow, 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 echoing off the valley, and I'm like, brah, this is so weird, dude. So, years later, we're over at Manoa Chinese Cemetery, And the place, the place is good energy because you get a bunch of hippies, yeah, sitting on the stairs, just chilling, playing the guitar, hanging out. And so I think Robert did the tour that night, and I went up to Robert. I went up to the. I let Robert do the tour, and I went down the stairs. Down the stairs is where they were playing piano or guitar, and just kind of cruising. And I'm like, "Oh, you guys like this place?" And they're like, "Oh, we love this place. This place has so much good energy. It's good, man." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's really good." And they're like, "Yeah, we come here often. Sometimes though, we go back in the valley and we play the didgeridoo." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" That was a mystery solved. I'm like, "For real? You guys go back there like midnight and play the didgeridoo?" They're like, "Yeah, man, it's so relaxing." And I'm like, "Oh, bro, that's you guys I want here."
What is that? Didgeridoo.
I play 'em for you.
They're like a
It's like
like
a
a cultic song or
Instrument.
something.
no, it's Australian.
Oh, it's a
And they make
oh,
that.
it's an instrument.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's like a big long.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, I hear this coming out in the back and
Oh,
echoing off the
okay.
valley walls. Aborigine. There you go. Aboriginal.
Gotcha.
I don't know if I want to bring that kind of energy into here right now. Oh yeah, the tea plants do look kind of like a kahili. I got eaten alive in Manoa Falls by mosquitoes. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. Um, so yeah, I'm kind of glad that whatever this thing was left. I want to know who it was though, or what it was. So let's try doing an investigation over here. If there's any spirits in the area, even the ones that are guardians and guides and follow us around, could you interact with the equipment? Could you let us know? Maybe I'll put on the spirit box too. We'll see if we can get a response. Because I'm curious what that thing was, yeah. So I'll give it about a minute, and then if I cannot, I'll turn the spirit box on and see if you guys want to speak on that. Yeah, that picture was kind of funny. I don't need the signs like that. I need signs like the lights going off, not rain starting and stopping. Please. God, it's so weird how it started off really creepy and heavy. And now no more nothing, huh? Alright, I go turn on the spirit box. We got another picture. Look like somebody's bloody bibbities. Yeah, the trees were creaking when we got here as soon as we stepped out of the car. And, like laughing, but now there's nothing. Except water dripping down my back. I just have to keep all of my electrical stuff dry. Those are okay. They're fine. Oh. Alright, let's see. No more pictures coming up. Let's go turn on Spiritus.
Welcome to Spiritus.
Can't even hear them over the sound of the rain. Sorry. right. You guys have any questions? Any ideas? Any stories? Suggestions? Anything at all? TikTok has already complained once that the camera isn't moving around. Even when I move them around, it says it's static.
Yeah, I think if you maybe put it on top of your face,
Huh?
can just change the screen and put it on your face.
Oh, yeah,
then
yeah,
it
yeah,
seems
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
you're active, huh?
yeah.
Maybe that's what it's censoring, because once you go on the road, it automatically shuts down, yeah. So
Supposedly, yeah.
maybe it's not detecting phone movement as far as being active.
Well,
It
just
might
said-
be the
Maybe, yeah.
like the screen moving, yeah, or
Yeah,
activity
yeah,
in the feed itself. So that might help. You should maybe just do that every so often now.
yeah. Yeah. Lansing, how's it? We did have some earlier tonight, a lot. Sorry. I'm trying to do this TikTok thing to make sure I don't get yeah, we'll flip them back around. I scared you guys. Boo.
Yeah, just give him a jump scare every so often. Boom! Just put him back there. Shoot it for it.
You see a white fog? I didn't see a white fog.
Oh,
Probably smoke.
Smoking.
Probably smoke, yeah.
Cigarette
Um,
smoke.
Anything about Manoa Long's parking lot? No, I don't know anything about that, but I did have some things happen, but it was more involving the like, so we had gone to Manoa Falls hiking trail, Paradise Park there, and several times we had attachments on people and we met in that parking lot. That's what I was thinking. So we met in that parking lot and we tried to get rid of the attachments. And I remember one time there was a face in the rear view mirror. Man, I wish I could find that picture. You guys want to see a creepy picture? See if I can pull it up. Well, a picture of a ghost. Whether you think it's creepy or not is up to you. This one was favorites. I think I saved it as favorites. Yeah, right there. I'll show you guys this picture now. The story with this one is this came from a friend of mine, and the gentleman that sent it to her was her friend. He was a homeless guy who lived in his car, and he did some heavy drugs. And he insisted that his car was haunted by a girl. Now, he was, I think, in his 50s or 60s or so, and I think he has since passed away, but he swore that the car was haunted by a girl. And even his girlfriend that lived in his car with them said the car was haunted by a girl. What had happened was he would tell people the story that he could remember, but nobody believed him, right? Because he did drugs, right? So that back in intermediate school, he got his girlfriend pregnant and didn't want the responsibility, so ended up unaliving her with a shovel and burying her body. And she went on as a missing person. Even literal decades later, she's still a missing person because nobody had found her, and he forgot where she had been buried. I sent this picture to my friend, and my psychic friend, and she said, "Oh wow, that girl had her face bashed in by a shovel." And I didn't tell her anything else. I just showed her this picture. Here's a picture that he snapped inside the car. And of course, there wasn't anybody in the back seat. And now for YouTube. Yeah, so yeah, that kind of stuff. Enjoy that. That's kind of. So, what I get from this picture isn't a girl. I get something else. These things are bad, yeah. There are bad things, and this guy did something bad. So, I believe that the girl has already crossed over, but there are things that torment him, right? And they take on her form to torment him because it's effective, right? And that might have been what drove him to do the hard drugs in the first place, to cope with what he had done. Imagine an entire life being defined by a single action. Right? That's just very, very sad. By a lot, for a lot of people, right? Everybody involved. It is just a tragedy. But yeah, he had since died. Nobody believed him. That kind of stuff. Here's one of my favorite pictures. I'll show you guys too. Because we're sitting down cruising. We'll do this for a little bit longer, then we can head home. We'll see if anything else happens, yeah. But it feels really calm tonight.
And
Now.
those don't discriminate, huh?
Huh?
And those never discriminate, huh? By the way, moving these cars, they're actually gonna hunt your house.
Yeah. Here's a picture of my mom, my sister, and my son. Keep in mind, my son is now 23. What? 2020? He was born 2003, so now he's 22. 3. 12, I don't know, whatever. I can't math right now. So there they are. This was at the Lion King. It's one of my favorite pictures here. Right. But what you don't see, let me see if I can actually get this on one camera, period, one phone, period. So, much better. So what you guys don't see, initially, I remember my sister took this picture, and years later she was going over it with me, and she was like, "Joe, you took that picture, yeah?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Who's that creepy old lady between me and mom in the back?" And we're like, we're looking at the picture, and we're like, I have no idea who that is. But there wasn't a lady there. There wasn't a person there. Because right against the stuff was the back, right? My mom walked by. She's like, "Oh, that's grandma. That's my mom." It's like, "Really?" She's like, "Yeah, that's what she looked like." And I'm like, she didn't look like that. The grandma that I knew had white hair. She was blind. She had dementia. She had Alzheimer's. Apparently, this is how she looked before her dementia had kicked in. Yeah. So yeah, interesting. Yeah, that's one of my favorite pictures too. We still saved it. Yeah. Yeah. Is there? Ooh, yeah, I did share this with the one I shared with you guys last night. Kaiulani. There's a school downtown Honolulu. That was on the Hawaii News Now back in 2016. It's called Kaiulani Elementary School, right? At the Kaiulani Elementary School, they had the banyan tree in the back. It's right by HCC. Good fun it. I like to see the picture, so it's like subscribe. The banyan tree had burned down. Yeah, it had caught fire and burned down. But here's a picture of Princess Kaiulani and the fire. And in the fire, you can see the same clothes, the same everything of Princess Kaiulani. They said it was on the Hawaii News Now. Yeah. Hey, Suzette, how's it? The lights are still there. I just turned the camera so I could show you guys both the same picture. Yeah. See, like, that's just really cool. I like that. They have this picture and the article on the fence surrounding the trees. Yeah. I really want to do a downtown walking tour. That would be cool. But yeah, it's like they take pride of the ghost picture. You know what I mean? I've never really seen an elementary school of all things do that. You know, they're like, oh, they don't want to talk about ghosts, but they're like, no, Kaiulani, she's still here. She's under her favorite banyan tree, and she's still there. Yeah. Never mind the kids. The kids, I guess, at that school are taught not to be afraid of it. But why would you be afraid of the princess, right? Now I'm cold and I'm sweating. Troy, TikTok, yeah. Isn't there a haunted house on Woodland Drive in Manoa? Probably. There's a lot of haunted houses in Manoa. Yes, and her portrait watches you in the library. Kalakaua too, bruh. Ooh, Kalakaua Middle School. A lot of those pictures are just crazy. I gotta see if I can plan. I know tomorrow night we're gonna have Guy and T sharing stories. Saturday night, Saturday night I might do the walking tour. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, that's something I gotta plan. Yeah. Saturday. Yeah, you know what? Let's do the walking tour Saturday. No, I got stuff to do Saturday. Anything eerie or paranormal activity from that house with a chiropractor? Yeah, unalived himself and his family. I don't know. I didn't do. I don't investigate recent hauntings or places like that unless it's presented to me to do it. You know what I mean? What am I looking for? I'm not looking for evidence. I already believe in ghosts. I'm not looking for proof. I believe that they still might be there. So if I can make a difference and I'm asked to, I will. But if I'm not, then what's the point of going besides just simple curiosity? Yeah, I gotta get some more stories. You guys want to share anything? You guys just chilling?
I'm just chilling, baby.
Right.
Nothing.
I
You
thought I
still
had.
getting that light behind you?
Huh? Who, me?
Like
No,
last
not
night?
tonight.
No more light?
I
No.
still getting that light behind me.
That side?
Yeah,
Like
well,
on both.
I'm not gonna go off the live. You guys can like hang out. You guys like hang out. How can someone contact you for a house blessing? Send me a message. TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, whatever. I should really put more information out like that, like my name, my email. I get a couple phones, so I don't mind giving out my phone number. Does knowing that ghosts exist change your view on what happens when you die, according to the Bible? I don't know. The Bible. That's a very good question, Elena. Thank you. To be honest, I'm not even sure what the Bible says. I know, well, I think the Bible says, but it also can contradict itself too, right? Um, I think that spirits who don't want to cross over don't cross over, and I think that the truth of somebody dying in is entirely based on their perspective, if that makes sense. Yeah, let me know. I don't mind. Yeah, the Bible says you will sleep until judgment day, and then when Jesus comes, then you will, then you will be judged. But it also says that nobody, not even Jesus, knows when that day will be. And how I logicked it out. We talked about this, I think, before, but like every day you get one homeless guy saying that the world's going to end, the world's going to end, the world's going to end. So it cannot end that day, otherwise that homeless guy would be right. And nobody is going to know the end of the world. So maybe the end of the world happens in a way where it's different for everybody. I think it's very possible. Yeah, talking to my friend Doug who died, went to heaven, came back. I think it's very possible that when you die, you go into the light, you go into the portal, you go into a place where you relive everything good you've done. It's called the life review. Then you relive everything bad you've done, both as the perpetrator and as the victim. The person that you do it again, and then you get it done to you as that person. And you need to pay, keep in mind, time and space are completely irrelevant when you pass on. So this could take what we interpret as years and years and years, but as a spirit, it's completely different. So you go and you grow and you learn through all of that stuff too, right? And so that, see, visibility again, blah. That could be the, sorry, my umbrella arm is getting tired from opening and closing. That could be when you finally cleanse yourself and you're ready to enter heaven. that would be your rebirth, right? It that would still make that right. You will sleep until Judgment Day, and Judgment Day I think could be different for everybody. I've gone so far as I remember in high school I was thinking about it. I was into Revelations. What I tried to do was to prove a theory. The theory is, the angels with the seven seals, the four horsemen of the apocalypse. It occurred to me that the four horsemen of the apocalypse is what killed the Hawaiian culture. You had Kamehameha unite the islands through war. Then you had the foreigners combine with pestilence, and that created famine and ultimately death. And they're the four horsemen right there. A large chunk of the population died because of those four horsemen. But then you look at it, and the Aztecs were the same. The Mayans were the same. A lot of these cultures around the world died the exact same way to the same four horsemen. And I was thinking, what if that four horsemen of the apocalypse and the end of the world is more of a end of a culture and you're born into a larger culture, which is what had happened to the Hawaiians and all of these people. So I even tried to trace the ships that brought the diseases, and they may have been the angels that broke the seals, that kind of stuff. And that was reaching a little bit, I'd say, but yeah, I don't know. It was just an interesting theory that came across. Huh? Oh, it did?
Yep.
Oh, blue?
Yeah, the third light on the left.
Okay. Yeah, these are theories though that are bound to a three-dimensional world. So there's no way that we could possibly know, because when we die, we're no longer three-dimensional beings, right? I can't even comprehend of not having time and space matter, right? It's like a dog cannot comprehend how a nuclear bomb works. Doesn't mean that a nuclear bomb doesn't work. It just means that no matter how smart a dog will get, he's not going to be able to comprehend that. So we too have our limitations. And I accept it. It's fine. I don't need to understand everything. I'm just a dog. But yeah, that's kind of what I think about that. Doug would say, Doug brought up the idea of life review. That was really interesting to me. I really enjoyed that theory. And it kind of, it really resonated. It made a lot of sense to me. More so too, like, on the Kaneohe, Auloa Road, the Kaneohe Morgan's Corner, we would tell the story about a young girl who had passed there. And we'd be on a tour and she'd show up, right? People would claim to see her, describe her. I'd feel the coldness, of her, that kind of stuff. But we would also cross her over. Some people on the tour that do that would cross her over. I've read about people crossing her over. Time and time again, she's been crossed over, but she still comes back to be crossed over. What if a way of paying for and atoning for your sins are simply going through, like, let's say there was a spirit who SA'd somebody, and he died, and now he has to become this victim, this girl, and experience what it was like for her, and then he has to atone for his sins in that way, and then he gets crossed over, kind of thing. And then she, in a way, gets reborn again. Oh, Keith, I love listening to. I always look forward to when you talk. While it's true that times and space do not exist at the very highest realms, I've heard and believe that we do not necessarily go to those higher realms after this one. In other words, space-time exists beyond the human experience. Yeah. Yeah. I've heard that too, even like in heaven, right? Ooh, are you on TikTok?
Both.
Okay, you're talking to Mrs. H. Um, even the Bible says there are 144,000 people that will rule over us in heaven. And what we refer to as heaven is called New Jerusalem, which is when earth will be reborn through fire. It was baptized by Noah with water, and then it'll be baptized by fire, and then we will live without death and all of that stuff. So yeah, there's that theory in the Bible too, or that thing in the Bible where what we think is heaven. We're gonna go into the sky. Those are for the people. 144,000. I don't hear anybody yelling. I hear Matt blowing his nose. I wonder if, because this is the portal, yeah? I wonder if the portal either opened or closed.
It was open last night.
It was open last night,
I
but
didn't see any shimmering tonight when I looked.
I wonder, because maybe it had to do with the meteor shower. No, that's only a few hours. Yeah, I don't know about that number. It would be really cool if this thing I spent a bunch of money on would work.
Sound works.
Sometimes. Yeah, yeah.
Not very loud, but you work.
It'll work when there's activity, I'm sure. But like, yeah.
Well, we do have walking around, so.
Huh?
We still got walking around. Even coming up on the trail.
Oh, excuse me.
That's a temperature thing. When it drops 5 degrees or 1 degree or whatever I have it set on.
The sound.
Hey, aloha, Britt. How's it? And good night. I don't know. See, I worked night times, yeah, before. All over, all night kind of thing. And so I had a lot of time to think. Not always good, I'll tell you. Poor Uncle Matt back there. Yeah, Uncle Matt, you heard.
What's going on with me?
Yeah,
Good thing.
Oh, you got a nephew,
no, you hear your coughing, dude.
Junior.
Cousin Matt.
Tyler.
Even cousin Matt is older than me.
Baby Matt.
Baby Matt, there you go.
Newborn.
No, we on the tours we had Uncle Joe and then we had cousin Joe because I was cousin Joe. There were 3 guides and 2 of us was named Joe. Matt is younger. We all getting old. Let's see. Okay, it stopped raining. Let's try the spirit box again. I'd like to know. No, not ghost tube. Oh wow, there's a picture coming up though. Well, there was a picture coming up and it disappeared. Oh no, it's a man. In a hallway. Yeah, that's all I do is think about the unknown and compare it to the Bible teachings. Oh yeah. I used to be a Sunday school teacher back in the day. I love the Bible stuff. I don't know it nearly as well as I should, but yeah. My faith is strong and that's why I can end up doing this. Next week we will start some of the scarier ghost stories, yeah? The cases I had that involved possessions, yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think so. These are supposed to be randomly generated pictures, my okole. It also requires a connection to the internet, which is why I believe in it. You know what I mean? I believe that it's randomly generated pictures, but not always. So, I'm going to put on the Spiritus now. I hope you guys can hear it. It's loud enough. I'd like to know what went on. So can you identify, like, first of all, what activity did we have?
Hello, Miss.
What was happening?
Good luck.
There was noise being made. Can you tell us what the noise, where the noise was coming from? What was making noise? think I have to let this thing warm up a little bit.
There's a smile.
Yeah, I'll let this thing warm up for a few minutes too. So we got last night. We did get lapu. This thing confirmed it was a lapu. One of the most telling signs about last night was when we were up on the top. This thing didn't come into our bubble. This thing didn't come close. It stayed outside of our bubble, which to me, I read that as it wasn't welcome in the bubble. Um, that which meant that it was bad. You know, it was more of a bad kind of thing. If it was a lapu, it was a lost soul because it did something bad, and that maybe it was still in that mindset where I wanted to keep doing that thing. But yeah, it talked to us, it laughed, it did all of that stuff. Matt, what you were recalling last night, and I had forgotten about that night completely. The first time you came out, about how the trees were creaking too, but it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
totally different. The vibe, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The vibe was like there was a kid or like a little girl swinging on the tree, kind of laughing, having fun, that kind of stuff playing.
Yeah.
It was the trees creaking, but it had a totally different feel to it. Yeah.
Yeah. The atmosphere, everything about it,
Yeah.
just the way that the tree was creaking and the timing and just how it all sounded. That's just the image I kept replaying in my head, like a little girl sitting there swinging her legs, just laughing and enjoying the story. It's like, I
Yeah.
don't know, it was weird. I
Yeah.
just couldn't get that image out of my head.
The vibe was totally different. Like that was like last night though. That was even like when we started coming down here. It was tense. It was like something like the impression I got. And let me know if you guys got the same impression. Was that there was something on the tree, and it was communicating with us, laughing at us, but it was like taunting us,
Mocking.
huh? Mocking, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it said aloha last night, it answered me back. It was cool. It's like taunting, you know what I mean? It wasn't a nice like ha ha ha. I'm having fun. I'm enjoying it.
It's sarcastic
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
vibe.
You just gotta start putting the pieces together, brother. Gathering all that evidence tells a story.
Huh?
That, all that evidence for these events and everything. Start
About
putting
what
the
happened
pieces
last?
together.
About what happened last night?
It goes farther back.
The last few nights, about a week or so.
It's been a while. Yeah, but all of it tells a story.
Should I tell that story?
No, I'm not gonna share that story.
Huh?
I'm not gonna share that story.
No, should I tell that story?
No.
Yeah.
That's for you to, yeah. That's why I haven't
Not here.
spoken much on it or said anything about it. But I've been quiet. I've been fucking watching this thing and observing it.
Yeah.
This whole time.
Maybe we'll wait to see the story to its conclusion before it becomes a story.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I kind of have an idea.
Yeah.
Even now, it's
So I've
kinda
already got to the point I'm laughing at them.
borderline how it feels.
Yeah.
But
Maybe it used up all of its energy already. I don't know.
I don't know. I still feel something still here.
Yeah.
it's not gonna go away till it's taken care of.
Yeah.
I love it. When ghosts are not enough to worry about, huh?
Yep, such things as life.
Yeah.
Damn it. Like my son at the bathroom trap and I'm not. Oh. Fucker.
Let's
No,
talk about this. Hold on. Let me see if I can get her back on. Hold on. Let me see here. This. Yep. That's the one. Okay. So I wanted to get your guys' impression, you two guys, as well as everybody else on the live here. I had a request. I don't think she wants me to say her name, but my significant other. Maybe you can ask your fans tonight what it means if you keep having dreams about getting choked or if you're feeling cold, like someone's touching you and you feel cold all over.
Usually if you feel cold all over, that's a spirit touching
In a dream. Also, see a lot of, see a lot of centipedes, but the centipedes could just be centipedes because Hawaii, you know
you.
what I
Right.
mean? But yeah, so dreams about getting choked or feeling that you can, hello there, um, that someone's, yeah, but it's just the dreams, and then you would wake up like almost gasping for air kind of thing.
If you're actually gasping for air, in my experience,
Yeah.
something really was there. Like, actually happening. I've had that before.
You had that. Can you
Yeah.
describe that kind of
It's
thing?
like, it's so real, either you actually feel it, and if you, it's almost like your mind goes into what is that? Almost like a lucid dreaming, or so you're up and you're awake
Yeah.
at the same time. Things can come in through the dreams, do things to you, which is where you gonna wake up with bruises, or you wake up gasping for air, which I have experienced both.
Mm.
Um, and it's especially when you wake up cold, clammy. It's pretty much it wasn't just a dream. Um, it's just a dream. You're gonna wake up and you're gonna feel evil, or you're gonna feel like some feeling, but you're not. It's a different. If it feels
So
real,
you know
it's
when you
real.
wake up from a dream, and you know when you wake up from something else that's not a dream. It feels slightly
It's
different.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Typically, dreams tend to
You can shake it
fade.
off.
Huh?
You
Yeah,
can
you
shake
could
it off.
shake it off, and if you don't think about it, it will fade. Even nightmares, I noticed for me,
Yeah.
will still fade. Little tiny specifics, yeah. But this has been happening to her for a while now.
So here's my experience. Then this is kind of what I gotta. I always go back to this default, and anytime
Uh,
something like this happens,
Hold on one second, man.
go, go.
What if you're shaking because you're cold while dreaming and the shaking wakes you up? That's a spirit touching you, you
Yep.
said, right?
Yep.
That's a spirit touching you. Go ahead, man. Sorry.
So my experience, anytime I had stuff like this, it's like I told you last night about my dreams, and I get messages and all that kind of stuff, right? Sometimes taught lessons. And the default question is always fucking what you did. That's always the question that's asked.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And there's nothing else needs to be said, because once you hear that question, you have your answer. You know,
It's either what you did or who's around you,
what you did, where you went,
and
what you did last night, whatever. That's why these things kind of
Oh,
come.
wow.
It's hard to grasp, but every time I've had this situation and I've gone to my family for help, the question was always asked, and I never have
yeah,
to answer them. The fucking answer popped in my head, like I knew. Like, oh shoot.
yeah, that's true.
I hate that. Well, not
I mean,
really,
it,
but
it
But
sucks, but it's hard to
it's
grasp, But you gotta
you gotta
you gotta look at that too. You
you gotta
cannot
look at
just
yourself. You gotta
put
look
it on
what you
somebody else. Oftentimes you gotta look in the mirror first. That's where you gotta start, and then
so you
kind of work your
typically
way
have
out.
the answer and you already know what's going on if you think
I know.
about it.
Well, for me, in those times, I knew I did something that fucking caused it, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I always had the answer.
Yeah.
So it's just a suggestion to look into. I'm not saying that's what's going on, but somehow that was always the default answer or the default solution that I was given younger time.
Okay.
The first question when I come asking for help, what you did. put you in the pit last night. Like, fuck. Okay. Then I gotta, but then I tell them, and then they can help me. But,
Right?
Oh, blue light.
but they realize it, or that's when you realize it.
See, Matt, I was a good girl, so I always ask who's around me.
I was a good guy, but I did Kalohe things, I grew up in the freaking 80s,
Yeah.
90s. We did Kalohe stuff. It was a badge of honor. We had
California
to.
Han, thank you for sharing that. That's cool.
And sometimes, yeah, I paid a price. It fucking was costly. Oh, you're playing with the
Yeah.
Ouija board, huh? Okay.
No, yeah.
Shit.
Well, what if you don't do any of that? You don't do anything. You don't go to
doesn't
any
have to
haunted
be that,
places. You don't have any kind of spiritual things happening or anything like that. But it's
Remember
still.
how I talked to you about how your soul can sometimes leave your body
Uh huh.
and go after
Like astral travel?
no,
remorse?
not astral travel. You don't know. But your soul harbors all your emotions, your feelings, your intensities, your anger, love, hate,
Right.
aggressions, jealousy, envy, everything. It harbors all that. It knows without you telling
Yeah.
anybody. That's one person that does know. And your soul is going to take care of you as a person, because that's its vessel.
Yeah, I look forward
So
to
it's
reading
going to
that, Brittany.
protect its
in a minute.
vessel
Right.
sometimes. And without you knowing, you go sleep, but so like for me, I refuse to go sleep mad. I won't go to sleep mad because I go sleep mad, I wake up mad. Sometimes if I go sleep mad, I don't know if my soul leaves myself and now portrays those emotions and acts it out to that person I may be mad at or
Right.
jealous, or those things actually fucking do happen.
Yeah.
So those are things you need to consider. Where it's not like I went and played with the Ouija board, but something happened and went on in my day or whatever, that led me to harbor these feelings or these emotions or these thoughts. And sometimes the soul will do what it needs to do to take care of you and goes out and does that. Like I've had a situation where my mom was, it was kind of like a press dream.
Mm-hmm.
She was in her sleep. My dad was sleeping next to her, and she got pressed down and pushed on. And she woke up, and she actually saw this person. And this person pressed down on her and went to kiss her.
Mm.
Tried to kiss her.
Yeah.
Well, the guy was like madly in love with my mom. But my mom was married, And unfortunately, I know where this guy came from. I know who he is. I know what he did. But that overzealousy of love
Manifested
manifested
Yeah.
itself and it sent itself to my mom.
So the intention, even though it wasn't intended
Right,
by that
right,
person,
right.
just those feelings manifested itself to
yes,
that.
that's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah. What
So
about
it's-
would it manifest into a dream? I guess if it could manifest physically, it could manifest into your
Okay,
dream
well-
too. Easier, yeah.
Right. But
Yeah.
now, remember when I was telling you about lessons? Sometimes the dream is telling you what you're doing wrong or actually correcting you or maybe even coming back to you. What you sent out, not knowing, now is coming back. The person that actually received it.
Send them back.
Send it.
Right. So that's why you got to start looking at yourself first
Oh, okay.
before you go outside
I
the
see.
box.
Right.
So like anger and all of that stuff and rage and all that's withheld or repressed could manifest as that and it goes out, but then it's sent back to you. In your dream state you receive it.
And it's this other person that, who knows, maybe they got guardians and protectors too. And so they're going to see that danger and they're going to send it right back.
So you're getting back what you getting back what you sent out,
Right.
coming right back to you.
Right. But in the same sense, the person that was the receiver didn't know. He was just protected or she was just protected from that, being able to take hold of that person because of their protectors and guardians, and it got sent back. Or family members or lineage.
Right.
Like, who knows? I mean, it could be a multiple of things, but that's just one of the, one of the more common things
Yeah,
that.
and you gotta clear out before you actually get your answer. Which
You got. You
and
got to
go
look
down
at
the
all angles,
checklist. Yeah.
Because if you just stuck to one way or one narrow path, sometimes
Right.
that's the answer, and you're right on. But if it's not, you'll never get out of that circle. You'll
Yeah.
keep repeating that thing over and over and over, never turning right to change direction. You're just gonna keep making that left turn, and you're
So-
stuck in this circle of life.
So need to be pono then, huh?
Yep.
Need to find a way to do pono.
Yep. It's always good to be pono. You know, that
So-
could be why people pray at the end of the night too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To
what-
rest their
yeah.
soul and make sure that they don't send that kind of stuff out. You never know.
Yeah. What would be a good way to protect yourself if you're at home by yourself? I always recommended prayer.
I always do prayer.
What kind of
I
prayer do you do?
I mean, first of all, I pray to God Himself.
Yeah.
You know, that's number one. And then I ask my guardians and my guides, you know, my ancestors. I ask them. And for extra protection, if you know, some people need something solid to see, whether you put out a glass of salt water, Hawaiian salt, on your bedside. I've done that. I still do that.
Glass of salt water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
It'll-
captures a lot of negative energy.
Yeah. I heard about that. I
While
heard
you
of it
sleep.
changing color
And
sometimes too.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I've got pictures of even some of my clients. That's one of the things that I have them do. And
Okay.
they send me pictures in the morning, and I'll look and have some pretty weird shit that it captures.
Yeah.
So I even do that in my own house.
I think another good thing too is best
Okay,
to go
great.
with your faith.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whatever faith you have in, that's the tool you use.
Yeah.
So like for you, if Christianity is your faith, you can use prayers. Where if you believe more in the Hawaiian side, that's where you're gonna go with the tea leaves, the Hawaiian salt, and the blessings. You know, everybody has their
and I'm Christian.
Yeah, but-
yeah
so I
their
use
their
both.
protocol
You can
for
use
these
both.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can use both, but like so to as a to help everybody
guide.
else that's outside of the Hawaiian beliefs and all of that.
Yeah.
That would be, I think, the best way to address them is first things first is go with your faith.
Go with your
And then if that
strengths.
doesn't work, then you start branching outside of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've had clients where they're Korean, and I advise them to go to the temple and get incense.
Mhm.
You know, I look it up. What is their protection? What do they? And it depends too. If I'm doing a reading and their ancestors show up, that tells me they got to do it their way. So Koreans would be the red beans or the incense. You know,
Right.
but it's basically like how you said. You go with what you know first, and then you try other things, you know?
Yeah. And you go outside of it.
Yeah. And if you believe in both, Christian
both, yeah.
and Hawaiian, do both.
Do both.
You know?
Yeah. Most definitely.
Yeah.
But don't use a strength that's not yours.
Exactly.
Yes.
That you don't know
That's
about.
kind of
Yeah.
More
that's
so
something
what
that
I-
you're
Yeah.
not experienced with.
right.
I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
gotta
there's-
get sage.
Oh fucking.
You ever
chicken
use sage?
skin just now? You don't
Huh?
feel that? Oh my fucking hair is standing up. I'm fucking here.
Well, please set up my equipment.
Well, I did it a while ago when we started talking.
Yeah.
The whole colors went
Since
out.
walking, go up over there, please. This is expensive equipment. I like them used. No, it's fine.
But I do feel it's time to go in a little bit.
Yeah.
That was heavy. I was good all night, and then that one was like, okay, I see you, I feel you right there. Got it.
Man. Yeah, just in Hawaiian hauntings, I always kind of I always would like people would reach out for help in Hawaiian hauntings, and you get like 50 comments saying use sage, and it's like, brah, you ever used sage before? No. The people that are saying use sage, say, you ever use sage? No. Like, then why do you think it's gonna work? You Native American? No. You know what I mean?
No, it's like playing with fire, you know.
You need to know how to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't even know you're actually giving it more strength. And
Yes, sage
yeah,
is
or
powerful.
pissing it off,
So-
basically.
In Hawaii, I've seen it like sage is not good in Hawaii. It's situational. Like everything else is situational. If you're dealing with a spirit in your house that's not Hawaiian and that's in your house, then yeah, sage might work. But if you're dealing with the spirit of the land hey, you're not gonna sage the land. You know what I mean? All you're doing is trapping it in the ground. When the sage wears off, it's gonna get more mad. That's kind of how I see it. The
I use sage, even in my haula house. I don't recommend it to anybody.
I use
Um,
sage to clear the energy. It's
yeah,
all in your intent.
it's not to scare out
It's not to get rid of.
anything.
I don't use it to get rid of entities.
Yeah,
I use it to change the energy.
yeah. It's
To
like moving stagnant energy.
yeah, I
Yeah,
use it to get all the bad energy out and let all the new energy come in, kind of thing.
yeah, and I like the smell, so it calms me.
Yeah,
But that's all I use it for. I've had my guardians laugh and say, "Yeah, that ain't gonna work."
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I've
But I
heard more
explain
horror stories about sage than I have successes.
before I like that. I always talk and tell them it's not for nobody. It's for me. You
Yeah,
know, and they're okay with it.
yeah. I prefer Palo Santo to sage.
Oh yeah, I like that smell.
Yeah,
I'll burn both sometimes just
yeah.
for the smell. It
But
has a calming
I don't
effect.
use it that much. But when if I'm gonna burn something and I got Palo Santo, I swear I have Palo Santo and like I got one stick from my friend or my sister's friend, and that stick has multiplied into like 3 or 4.
Oh well.
Because I've used it. Then I open up my bag and I have like another one, and I'm like, how come I got 2? And then next time I open them up, I get 3, and I'm like, hey, this is awesome.
Oh, you get growing ones.
Yeah.
You know how much that costs on Amazon? Nah.
Yeah, yeah. Aussie says last time you used sage was for sleeping. Oh, that's a good one too. Yeah,
Yeah.
guarantee. Sweetgrass is my favorite. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Sweetgrass, Palo Santo, cedar. Yeah, yeah. I guess you can pretty much burn anything, but it's the intention you put behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You energize it. I agree. Sage and Palo Santo are good for clearing energy, not for entities. Yeah.
Yeah. I like the calming effect it has. I use it when I meditate.
Yeah. And I had Jello. We were blessing the house.
Hmm.
Me, Guy, and Jello. Jello was holding the sage, the Palo Santo. Me and Guy were walking around with the holy water. I had the tea leaf, salt, and holy water. And then Jello opened up the Bible and started reading from Psalms, I think it was. And I have never seen a house sparkle so much. It went from very heavy and oppressive to an open field, like, and I'm like, wow. What am I? Yeah, fell down. Sweetgrass, yeah. There you go.
Yeah, that has a nice that has a nice smell to it too.
Colo had not showing up.
I was thinking about the Rastafarians again.
Oh, that good sweetgrass.
Yeah. That's why I never put the word.
That's gonna attract spirits, bro.
Must work if the Rastas use them religiously, you know. So I figure, hey, maybe that one work too.
Oh, we're gonna bring all the ancestors tonight, bro.
Yeah. Oh, family cookout. No, but I mean, so every time I seem to be talked about in this thing, that's when something goes on. So just kind of seeing the activity with the lights,
Yeah.
just kind of helps confirm things. So like last night, same thing when I started talking about the specific thing, that's when it had that empath fucking activity, and
Yeah.
I walked out, you know. And so here I am, started talking about it again, or you know, things relevant to the area, and fucking things, everything started setting off again. I was like, okay, you know. So I'm trying to
Um.
put it all together.
Oh yeah, son of a bitch.
Second time already now.
Chuckle. What, you like sage? You
No,
fricka.
he like the sweet grass too. Sorry guys, dude. I chain him out a little bit. Sometimes too intense lately.
You guys heard that little chuckle over here? Fucking tree. Not only, but some people will use sage without windows and doors open. Yeah, you gotta know what you're doing. You gotta know how to do them. Is that a no-no with spirit? I'd say sage, it depends on you. If you resonate with sage, go for it. You know what I mean? Well, I'm live again. Wow, I don't know why YouTube just did.
So were you out?
No, it just said, you're live. Congratulations. I'm like, wow, okay. Oh, you meant for the Rasta sweetgrass.
Hawaii's known for theirs, you know. So yeah, you gotta give it up a little bit.
So like,
Put the props out.
yeah, how I do houses is I will open the windows. Well, not really, actually, not really. I'll open the door.
Yeah.
I'll start at the back, and the first thing I'll do is sign out the cross in holy water and salt on all the mirrors, all the glass, all the reflections, to close whatever portals might be open in that room. Then I'll just throw the holy water and stuff, starting at the back of the room and working my way to the door. Yeah, I'll do inside the drawers, inside the closets, all of that stuff, wherever anything may hide. And it's like just shoving it out the door. All that energy goes right out the door. And then I'll seal the door with the sign of the cross on the top. And then that room is done. And I'll do the other rooms all the way out to the hall, work my way out to the front door or back door, whatever. So basically you don't want to start at the door and then whatever you're trying to move is you're getting trapped in the room. So it's not just throw salt and pray. It makes sense, and I think because it makes sense to me, it's more potent. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a method behind it.
clockwise too. I heard about that
Yeah.
as well.
Clockwise
I
is what
haven't
the
really.
wrong.
I heard about that, but I haven't really necessarily done that.
Well, what you're describing
Yeah.
is pretty much
Yeah,
exactly that.
It's
I'll
kind of
start in
like
the back.
cleaning your house. You sweep it out,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
start from the background.
yeah,
But yeah, you read about the windows. You keep those ones closed.
Yeah,
Only that one door that you start at is the one you like
yeah.
shim out of.
yeah. You know what I miss? I just realized that now. I miss seeing mates jump on.
Mm.
and saying hi.
And you know, I'd always, yeah. They were always asking me, yeah, I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
And sure enough, shortly later, he pops on. Hey, there you go.
I don't know, Sherry. Try them. Yeah, but no, the Rasta Sweetgrass is no for spirits. Let me know. Shoot, Sweet Savage. Tomorrow we're gonna have Guy and T sharing stories as well. So we're gonna be going to a haunted place. It's more indoors, I think. We'll see. They have a lot of stories to share, so we're gonna have a lot of fun tomorrow night. I've been trying very hard not to share Guy's stories because I want him to. But yeah, it's been 2 hours. We're gonna go ahead and call it a night. So now time to blind myself. Bruh. Bruh, how's this freaking tree over here, bruh? Ah, just jumps in every now and then with a little chuckle. So yeah, I go scare you guys again. There we go. Ooh, but that thing. Flip camera, no, flip camera. And actually, maybe this will be better. Ooh, scary. And yeah, I do this because sometimes it's like 3 or 4 minutes before my live ends. And people are like, you never end your live, you never end your live. But I'm saying bye, but then it doesn't come up. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, same time, we're going to be downtown with, I said, Guy and T, sharing more stories. I will try to give you guys a heads up if we're going to do the walking tour. I haven't quite decided what day I'm going to do it. I know Friday's already Halloween. I don't want to do one downtown walking tour on Wednesday or something, you know what I mean? But I might. And whoever like come can come. I'll tell you guys the night before where we're gonna meet up and all that stuff. Yeah. So I don't think I'm gonna post it because I don't really want people coming and following around that I don't know or you know what I mean, causing trouble. But yeah, I'll let you guys know on the live. So have a great night, you guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Aloha.